independent spirit. She has never...
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help others. Please do not mistake her actions as...
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro! Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to... Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, when a unanimous opinion emerges, that opinion represents justice. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and Navia are one.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. You are merely jealous that the... Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become individuals?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that is how we will enforce justice.
My head...
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head... I remember now. Everything that seemed off. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to... After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent in-
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia, she... Silence.
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just... The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any...
Our thanks, Miss...
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What?
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second! Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still...
It looks like you're all...
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you You were just about to be dissolved within, but I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean...
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the...
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then?
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the...
No way, don't worry.
I see. Well, that is good.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that...
Thank you.
So, Neverlet. This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient...
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
Oh, right! Another one goes to the party! Let's get going then! Up and away! Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step.
Mind the wind.
We're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Tell me what you see. Not too far now.
I'll protect Pink!
I'm going in!
Up and away!
Come here, you little rascal.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden space.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is...
The surrounding walls also.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it. Most likely due to us missing the first...
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't...
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at... This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come...
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still... Paimon...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she... Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back for...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some—
You still have energy for—
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Traveler, I will go talk to I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little—
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily. Which—
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best—
I will be carefully
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. Alright.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special
Yay! And there's good food too! Ooh, desserts! Paimon's already starting—
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine? Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to
Still, we didn't expect to see you here! Wait, you're not a Fontanian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname?
Yeah, let's go—
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag, there was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means—
Wow!
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer.
Whoa, that's a long—
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is—
Thrice as great? That's so—
I know, right? Let's just
talk about it.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in—
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make—
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of all Tevat. Ascertaining this is akin to reading the fortune of the whole world. I'm afraid that this is not so— But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the fate of the world. Disregarding it would be a mistake.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Of course. The old hag could do it, and
And I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar.
Huh?
All right.
Thanks, Mona. You're a mig-
Oh, well, this is...
That's the greatest of astrologists for you!
Indeed, indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us a right. But we were able to recruit Mona's help. Good morning. To be honest, I'm still feeling. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get go.
Mind the wind. Easy now, Kakuku.
You're here.
It's
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to...
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little... It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you... Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you...
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know, but you found them in some ancient ruins?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy. The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen...
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I understand your concerns, but...
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain... There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiry. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss... Oh! The opera's about to start.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was...
I assume you've been outside for a while.
Oh! You noticed!
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear we may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make...
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the... This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone. Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing.
That's what family should do. Sit.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Then, how about you, good?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, as for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together.
Oh?
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain and...
Huh? Didn't you...
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
I see. And what does my boss...
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go...
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lin...
I've also gone
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society. Taking up arms in a trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. So, if we were to build a trap...
For me, I would prefer something... Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're so...
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinate...
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the...
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water.
Calm and steady.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion...
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the...
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do...
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the... But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now...
I would like for it to be effective, but...
Kind, as always. However, if we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides...
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's...
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually... But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being whose seat is an exalted...
Oh, so that...
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? Paimon didn't think that... Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon did... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before!
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea.
Who's that?
Huh.
Wait.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong, though not You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion, and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. Prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvat so easily be changed? Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners, where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but... it all...
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. I want to hear someone talking. All right, come. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter. just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and...
did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but...
That's right! Paimon's glad...
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe...
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great...
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know. Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels...
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has often but even so, I still hope for. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we...
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about... It was worth trying to comfort you. I suppose that might be...
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But, hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. Up and away! Huh? Our name? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that my recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report, a blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even knew. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool. We're here! Paimon's hungry.
slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can?
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me...
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you...
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but... Maybe...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what you...
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about... She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You 2 try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time. And the sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious.
Art is the key ingredient.
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. It's all right, though.
Really?
You're...
Oh, Paimon no...
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see you. Her name's Mona.
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and... So she mentioned me?
She said that you're a real
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request and exclude...
Huh? So you're...
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to...
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If...
Oh, in that...
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example...
That's the prophecy you're talking... If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means, from what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the work... So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the op... Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, and then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for... I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a work-off, but anyway...
That's... so not... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow... No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to... We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Feels like it'll grow more, but it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia.
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before... Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message for... Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophet.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary, but...
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize...
So, you mean she's...
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god, after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary... Good. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't...
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well,
sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know for... And, as we also know, when Nervillat was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, it would be hard for her to ignore being a... Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to... Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but in that case, there's not a moment to live... This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina, right over there! She really hit.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give up for... I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless... Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just...
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Who did that uncivilized... They even dare to tout their Archon! I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Maréchaussée Phantom are freaking out. Of course not!
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabbit. That's against the...
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here! Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you!
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they display.
Yep, that's a good...
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson,
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so...
Yeah, but the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coast, but all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth is we cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate. But indeed, I've thought about giving up so many times. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophet, but just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf, as long as the final moment hasn't come. Don't worry. Well, that's enough for now. I got the end. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could...
Come on!
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty. A witness. Yes, I've heard that you. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just. I.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes. Now, without further ado.
So, this is what it is. Yes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of.
May I interpret these words as your refute? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a. I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh! It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for— You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage, and I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true— This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words, this shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making—
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously.
All right, then. Who will—
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me—
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina—
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene. So, we arranged for a So,
you mean— the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from—
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontaine.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of—
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd,
prepared a stage and made sure that the champion duelist would be all so that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may—
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage. Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the—
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history. According to Monsieur Nightmare, the words of someone at—
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervylette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still have— Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you— Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine.
Yeah, even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be—
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that, if you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat—
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500...
That doesn't sound right. First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble the type of... But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity.
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina...
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every act.
Reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current while the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in that you will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon.
The real Hydro Archon? It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it... You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be...
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable—
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it—
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a—
Isn't that?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be—
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's
Hey, come now, everyone! I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? The one that you loved! Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me!
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough! That's enough! Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up. That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this clue can be used as compelling evidence to build— that doesn't— It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve—
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedures.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak now. I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck, including those... So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of the seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. But, if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed...
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the...
She's just staring at the water without saying a...
What's going on? Is she real?
Due to the inherent risk of the test,
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you are present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert with... It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water? Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal.
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilt.
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty. To be punished via the death sentence.
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always...
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentence, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes?
Yeah! Even Fache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be...
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then... doesn't that mean I've come too late?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm their...
Huh? So what do you see?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well. The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so we didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
We know from the case of the seer, and the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve. The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly. It's not as simple as when Navia fell into the sea. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an... The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within... The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass. The stone slate's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know... now, so that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
Linny, we're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone get—
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that that could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient—
The Hydro Archon's true sin was
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often—
Yeah! Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the— Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so much. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a— Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated—
Well?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the Hydro— In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating a—
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontanian.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial— The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to... Therefore, the meaning of the third slate, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers to our...
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass. However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
That doesn't...
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the... And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, it's...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case...
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale, from the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect... Anyway, now that we know that this whale...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something... We've already done everything we can. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last...
Indeed. That's not how...
I'll fight it to the end. No matter...
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes. What has been prophesied will be fulfilled. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners, where the gods' gaze does not... Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
What's happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina.
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated.
It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe. She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same... I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be after becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, it's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera.
Mind the wind.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just... I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Ah, why can't you play nice? Ugh. Farewell. Ah, no way, bro!
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Come here, you little rascal!
Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
Wait a moment. You're... mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh?
Mirror me. What do you...
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Arc...
Oh.
What's going on? I can't seem to
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will...
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontaine...
Oh, don't worry. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may...
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? If there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain...
I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to
play as a god.
That's right. You must begin a never-ending If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. Being a human yourself, I'm sure, remember, your true
I'm still... So, how long?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, but I promise you...
A trial, huh? The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession. But this is my... What should I say to most appear like a god? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor as the god Focalor, the god of justice. I shall do all with it. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine... I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is about right. Mirmis, calm down, Farina. Think. Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can... Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut. Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were in...
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. The scales of justice should not weigh. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us... There is no trouble, so long as I...
Yes! Oh, yeah!
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp—
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now to...
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable. All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your son's...
You remembered? He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate.
You're such a gentle and wise god.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any...
Is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy. The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. Maybe this is fine. I just need...
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already.
Lady Farina, I've...
Indeed, my dear.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydro...
Understood. Keep monitoring. I don't think I let it. I feel...
Lady Farina, I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience...
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great...
Are you crying?
Uh-huh. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god.
No wonder. No wonder.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on. I never imagined that it would have reached my limit. I want to tell someone. And I have conducted so many investigations across the... All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act.
Farina, you don't... Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my...
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in... Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're... He's right. I could, but if things don't play out as expected, the people of fun... No, Farina. But what if... Farina, you've worked so hard for so... Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, think about it. Long and hard. No. Have nothing to say. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth. How would you build on this foundation to save the people of—
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple—
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human— It now seems that that person was you, hidden within—
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so. Alas, your understanding of this in truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice. Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice— I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina sucked? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy— the vast majority had to be accumulated.
It was all a part of your plan, then? Both the trial—
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne.
Returning what's rightfully yours to you. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to—
But—
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm— Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly prince. Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And that I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontaine— in other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. At this point, we— whether it be myself, Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full—
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, at last, I now understand the true purpose. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alone... You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Judex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a...
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for...
It's time to end this. We must...
But... didn't you say to...
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means. And now we should seize the opportunity to pursue our traveler. Now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring Narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has...
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
already done my best to separate the power of the Primordials away. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. Sorrow turning into hostility.
Let's light it up! Everybody!
Mind your step!
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility, and chance will present itself.
Over there! Really scary!
Let's go! Come here, you little rascal! Ah, why can't you play nice?
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
Mind the wind. He's free. Too slow. Let's go. Nothing personal.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I...
That power.
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, it's just that he gave us the impression that she was what?
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more all in all.
Miss Skirt.
The point...
Well, being that this pet... So what sort of person is...
Oh, right. So you don't... His name is Sertologi.
Huh?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe...
The Foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir, then? Or Gold Rhine Daughter?
we've heard, Rhine part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either, but I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the Heavenly Prince.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong. The soil renewed. The Spina Divasula tax posted old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Skyship Winglet, boon or bane of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the instant. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier or not?
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambirds up the value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia...
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute.
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And I'll...
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to...